Police officers have a habit of breaking the law, hoping they would get away with everything. However, today we'll be going through these cases where dirty and evil cops got some quick karma and were taken to the cleaners.
Where's the plate?
Why don't you go look for it? Why don't you walk around and look for it? I don't have to listen. I'm in my house. Go look for it.
You often see police officers breaking the very laws that they were sworn to protect. Today we'll show you some bizarre cases where corrupt officers were caught and then humbled on the spot. A couple of officers accused an innocent woman of unlawfully parking her travel trailer and then grilled her over a missing license plate. Little did they know this would lead to their own embarrassment.
Ma'am, per state law, you need to have a license plate affixed to this vehicle and it needs to be registered. Do you have a license plate or a VIN? You're really not giving me a whole lot of options here.
You came straight to the door.
Excuse me?
You came straight to the door.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Did you come straight to the door? Did you come straight to this door?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you came to the door. So then that means that you came to the door and you didn't find what you were looking for, huh?
Ma'am, like I said, you need to have a VIN or a license plate with this.
You need to go look for it.
It also needs to be registered.
You got to go look for it.
Okay. We already came out here once.
I know, I moved already.
The woman calmly told the investigators that she and her wife had already moved, but the authorities continued to go after her despite her reasonable answer, as if they didn't want to believe the truth.
It's illegal to live out of a RV in the city of Garden Grove.
Okay.
So you should probably move it to another city.
Okay.
But again, where's the license?
Okay, so guess what? When my wife get home at 6 o'clock, then we gonna move.
Okay.
In the meantime, you need to go do your job and go look for it. Do it. Go do it then, because right now I'm being harassed.
No, you're not.
Right now you harassing me.
Guess
what else you need?
You may think you're being harassed.
I'm just asking you a question. What else do you need?
The rest of the community.
Am I inconveniencing them?
Yes.
How is that?
Because I could be doing other things right now.
So why don't you go do it then?
Why
don't you go do it?
Because I'm arguing with a child.
You're not arguing with me. I'm not arguing with you. And I'm not a child. And I'm not a child.
You are.
And I'm not a child. And I'm not a child.
You're acting like.
Okay, so what else do you need to talk about?
I need your license plate and your VIN.
Okay, go look for it then. Go walk around and look for it. You should go look for it. Because now y'all harassing me.
The cops kept demanding paperwork, escalating the situation with every question, but this woman made sure to teach these cops a lesson.
Where's the plate?
Why don't you go look for it? Why don't you walk around and look for it? I don't have to listen. I'm in my house. Go look for it. Yeah, see that? Go look for it. Go look for it. It is a house. It's a travel trailer. It's my house. I own it. I bought it. My wife bought it. Go look for it. Yeah, is that Vu? Is that you, Vu? Is that you, Vu? Vu, it ain't you, Vu. I'm sorry. You look like Vu. You look like Vu. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Did you run it? Did you got it? Did you run it? Did you got it? Did you run it? Did you got it? You got it and you ran it? Huh? It's registered to? Who is registered to? Who don't have an address? Because they have a what? Does it have a permit? Go ask them. Yeah, go ask them. Go do your job. Because all y'all doing is being dicks.
Excuse me, ma'am?
I'm just I'm voicing my opinion.
You're voicing your opinion?
Yeah,
I'm going to voice my opinion.
Okay, go ahead.
You're acting like a little kid.
Okay, say what you need to say. I'm going to be quiet after that. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
I just did.
I don't give a fuck. Now, go do what you need to do. Just please go do what you need to do.
The officer was frustrated as he could no longer intimidate her. Things were about to get heated as he completely lost his cool.
I'm gonna find that ordinance right now.
Go find that ordinance. Yeah, go do that. Go do that. And I'm gonna move as soon as my wife get home.
You gonna pull it?
No, I'm gonna move when my wife get home from work. You goddamn right.
You better call your wife
okay.
You better get her here.
Okay. You a big. Okay.
Keep talking.
Okay, I'm gonna keep talking. I will keep talking.
Being treated like a criminal over something that could have been resolved with a simple conversation was unnecessary and deeply aggravating. However, she did have the last laugh as the officer hurried off her property. You won't believe what these cops tried to get away with next, so prepare for a jaw-dropping revelation.
Get in the car! Get in the car!
Oh my God, I can't, I'm too big!
Sucks to be you, get in the car!
On December 3rd, 2021, officers from the Eastridge Police Department responded to a call for a child welfare check. When they arrived, they saw a black car outside the home with 2 occupants inside.
Hello!
Hey, what's up?
Hey, do you live here?
My daughter's living here.
Is she? In this, is that 893?
Yeah, it is.
893? Okay. All right, hang on one second for me, okay?
Something wrong?
Well, we got called to check on a child.
What child?
I don't know. They didn't tell us. They just said do a welfare check.
From...
The The woman, who was identified as Angel Sherrard, who was accompanied by her son, had come to her daughter's house to pick up her granddaughter. However, after hearing about the welfare check, she then became concerned.
What's her name? Hey, going up to the door.
Well, how old's the child?
2 years old. Is there a 2-year-old that lives here? 51 Tennessee 28.
I bet it was,
4 Mike 3, 7 Golf 4.
Why are you running my tag?
Because I smell marijuana.
You smell marijuana.
Yes.
Because you smell marijuana gives you the right to run my tag?
Not only that, I'm going to search your car.
You're not going to search anything.
Yes, ma'am.
No, you're not.
I promise you.
You are
and
not going to break
not
my
only-
rights right now.
You're about to get your rights in the back of my car.
Well, that's what you want to do because
51
you're going to get in real
67
big trouble when you do. Because I haven't done anything. I haven't
51 to
violated any
479.
rules or anything. You sit there and talk to me and to
That
tell
I-
me you're going to
that
search my car.
I am going to search your car.
And you're running my tag.
I am going to
I'm not
search your
doing
car.
anything but sitting out here waiting for
I
my
don't
daughter
care.
to come back
I
out.
don't care. Your car's going to be searched. And if you interfere with my search, I will put you in the car and I
Okay,
will take you to
if you
jail.
go ahead and you violate my rights then.
Okay, put
Let's
your hands
do
on the
that.
car.
You violate my rights.
Put your hands.
Suddenly, the situation took an unexpected turn when the officer smelled coming from Angel's car. As tensions increased, her daughter and granddaughter came out of the house.
Yo, what are you?
You're gonna put. You're
I said
arresting
put
me?
your hands on the
You're
car.
arresting me for
Put
what?
your hand back up.
Hey, don't you put your. Hey,
What the
I'm so dizzy right now. He just banged my. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Stop moving.
He's pulling my hair!
The officer used severe force on the old woman. While Angel sobbed, the officers ripped her and banged her head against the back of the car. Officer Anna Simmons arrived, and her tyrannical demeanor escalated the situation.
Get in the car! Get in the car! Get in the car! Oh my god, I can't! I'm too big!
Sucks to be you.
Stop.
Get in the car.
I didn't
Get
do anything. You're a woman. You're gonna treat me like this? You're a woman and you're gonna treat me like this?
You're gonna get tased. Get in the
Listen,
car.
listen.
Get in the car.
Get in the car! I'm getting in the car. Okay, I'm in. I'm in.
Power-hungry cops even tased Angel. Her kids started talking to the cops, however, they also met the same end, being silenced and then taken into custody.
Shut the up before I take your to jail too. Get back. You know how to handle it.
Hey, hero.
She just got run having a baby. You do not
Go
need
away.
to arrest her. Girl, do not push me. What is wrong with you? Who did it? I need to know who did it.
Who did what?
Who tased my mama?
She didn't get tased.
Get tased.
Then why was her taser going off over there?
Checking the fire, I guess.
Make that make sense.
It does.
She didn't get tased.
So then why was her taser?
How about you worry about you? We'll worry about your mama. I don't really give a
That don't sound like it. Sounds like you want to join your mama. Okay.
Y'all are violating our rights right now.
Which one?
I
Please
want
tell me
my
which
mom.
right you're getting
I
violated.
want my mom right
Tell
now.
me which right.
I want my
So
mom.
shut up.
I
You don't know
have
what
to
you're
say
talking about.
anything
Sorry,
to
you got-
You
You
sound like you're about 7. You want to act like a big girl, you're going to get treated like a big girl.
Angel and her kids were treated with blatant disrespect by the cops, who even made up a story that they had not used a taser. But a little while later, Officer Simmons changed her mind and then decided to tell the truth.
Get her in the car. Other than that, she's perfectly fine. What's up?
Drive friend, or she wasn't home tased, right?
No.
Just drive friend. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, no, she just drives gun. But I did it twice. No, I did it in her back and then like right here on her side.
We're talking about. We know the woman's going.
I'm emotionally invested. Can I take her?
Yes. Well, we were thinking.
I love it when you do this.
Yeah.
She's fine. She calmed down. She was an asshole, but she calmed down, was cordial and respectful. I don't really. I don't really want to take the other one.
Well, I had to tackle her.
That's correct. If somebody else wants to take her, I'm taking the one I'm emotionally invested in.
Which one are you invested in?
The one in your car.
Oh, well, I'll take you.
Okay,
But
by
here-
all means.
All right, but promise you take big one, you gotta take the second one too.
The officers started laughing about the situation as they handcuffed them. What was particularly disturbing was Officer Simmons' behavior. She was unable to control her excitement after violating the rights of innocent people and arresting them.
Go into the hospital. I'm gonna come. I'm talking. I'm telling you what's gonna happen. Okay.
I just want to know, is she single? This one. What?
Is she single?
I don't know, man. Ask her. Hey, I already got her. True love.
Taking mom for disorderly conduct, resisting stop, halt, frisk.
They are now separated. Unknown if it was physical or verbal.
If she ain't got insurance, I'm towing the car. You know, we'll see.
You're good.
But the car could just stay here. I mean, I'm
We'll
her
see.
daughter.
I
Please
see.
don't, like, it's already, like, please don't, because, like, I
Let's
want
go.
to
Let's-
her out of jail, and I just had a date with you.
And I feel for you, and I'm not trying to cause you no headache. I want you to understand. She, right. Yes. I understand it's your mother. You just got to understand we have a job to do also. Let's talk. How old are you, man?
I'm 18, sir.
18.
And I'm a man. And like you, why you gotta hit my mama like that, bro?
You gonna keep the, all right, I tried. You see, I tried to talk to you like a man. I tried to talk.
Why you gotta do her like that, bro?
Get in the car. I tried to talk to you. I tried. I'm not your bro. You see, I tried. You see, I tried to talk to you.
How old is he?
18. He's old enough to take a ride. He goes to the big boy jail. He's going.
That needs to go.
Because he gotta go.
You tried to talk to him, he didn't want to talk to you?
Yep. Hey, bro, why you gonna hit my mom? I'm a man. Why you hit my mom?
He ain't no man.
After speaking with Angel's daughter, the officer then moved over to try and talk to her son. For using his constitutional right to record the interaction, Angel's son was then taken to the police station and charged with resisting arrest. After searching her car and finding nothing illegal, the officer left.
Listen, I want you to know how this would have went. Ma'am, I'm gonna have to search your car. Okay. I didn't find anything. Guess what? Have a good night.
Angel was escorted to the police station after being treated for her injuries, where she was then accused of resisting arrest and disorderly conduct. Soon after, the court dismissed all charges, calling them baseless. However, Angel filed a lawsuit against the police department, and it was revealed that Officer Anna Simmons was fired from the force for using excessive force. While these corrupt cops were exposed, this next auditor took these cops to the cleaners.
Is this too close? Are you scared? I'm not wearing an AR. So I don't know why you're like scared.
In August of 2024, a First Amendment auditor, Chuck Bronson, was filming the streets with his friend when he noticed the officers had pulled someone over. As he approached them, the cops became suspicious of his recording.
What? What? Huh? I am staying back. I'm like 30 feet away. Is this too close? Are you scared? Chill out, man. Are you good? Are you good or are you still scared? Is this good?
How many times have you asked the same question, man? We're good. Everything is fine.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for answering my question, servant. Now shut up and do your job. I don't need all the extra lip.
Is that your buddy?
Yeah, that's right. They're not my friend.
They're done harassing this guy. I bet you they give each other hand jobs in the back over there.
Bronson had every right to film the cops, and as these officers had tried to warn him, he continued to hold them accountable.
What? No. What? No. Hey, Julio Lopez, would you consent to letting them search your car? Yo, Paco! You ever read that case law where it says the more you talk to the cops, the longer they can hold you? Hey, Paco, did you get that email today saying Krispy Kreme's hiring? You did? Yeah, the only problem is they got cameras too.
Bronson continued grilling the officers, and even they couldn't do anything but admire the humor that he had.
Funny guy, man.
I try. I'm not wearing an AR, so I don't know why you're like scared. Okay, cool, man.
Finally, the suspect was let go, and the officers left the scene after a nice exchange with Bronson.
We're not here to hurt you, man, I promise. You ever see us, we ain't gonna hurt you.
I know that, man. But like I said, I've never.
If I see somebody attacking you, I'm gonna help, I promise.
That's what I like to
I'm not gonna let somebody hurt you.
What was your buddy's name? I'm not telling you. You can't record.
What's your name? He wants to know.
Hey, him and I are cool, man.
Pablo.
He called me Pablo.
No, it's not Pablo.
Pablo Jones. And I'm James Freeman.
I don't think you're James Freeman. I think I know James Freeman.
I know James too. It's me.
Y'all have a channel or y'all just doing it for now?
Yeah, you're not James Freeman.
I'd love to see the channel. No?
Sorry,
We're just gonna have to comb through all the millions of others.
Yeah, you'll find. What's your name? We'll just tag you in it. We'll put your names on the front page.
Oh wow, okay, I appreciate it.
Can I care if I get close? I'm not gonna hurt you, man.
Go for it.
What the hell does that say?
Moving on, these corrupt cops thought they could have their way with the auditor, but got some quick karma.
Your name and badge number?
There you go. You want to record it with your phone?
No, why don't you just say it? Because I know that's your policy.
Cops often commit atrocious acts, hoping that they will get away with it, but sometimes karma catches up fast. Today we'll go through some of the most corrupt cops who faced instant karma and learned a swift lesson.
Sergeant Burke and one of his detectives will come and speak.
In June of 2024, First Amendment auditor was filming outside of a correctional facility in Trenton, New Jersey, when a police officer approached and attempted to intimidate him.
I don't have any answers for you. So I'm just... Excuse you? I'm on public property right now.
Excuse me?
I'm on public property right now.
Correct, but you're recording a correctional facility.
Is that illegal?
Can be. Harassment.
Recording's harassment?
Yes.
You can't turn a constitutionally protected activity into a crime.
Do you have ID on you, sir?
No, I haven't committed a crime.
Okay. I asked you what you're doing in front of the facility?
I'm taking pictures and video of matters of public interest.
What's that public interest?
That's all I'm going to say. Is that recording?
Sure is.
Excellent. Awesome.
The officer approached with a hostile demeanor, trying to intimidate the auditor and accusing him of harassment. However, harassment involves repeated behavior that annoys someone, which was not the case here.
Well, you're going to have to ask him to move along.
No, I'm not leaving. I'm on public property. Get a sergeant out here. Or a lieutenant. You give me illegal directives to leave. You know I'm on public property. There's utilities here. This is a public sidewalk, correct? So Ramos versus Flowers. I'm allowed to record police departments. Glick versus Cuniff. I can record anything out in public. Did you tell Google to stop taking pictures of their facility when they flew their satellites over? Or is it just me? So I'd like a sergeant out here.
Okay, no problem. I'll get one for you.
Excellent.
Suddenly, the cop's demeanor shifted when he realized that the auditor was well versed in the law. However, things were about to get even worse for these corrupt officers.
You do know
Right?
that it is posted no trespassing.
Yeah.
So
But if it's a state facility, I'm still allowed in there. Because it's open to the public.
if they tell you
That's not true.
it is true.
No, it's not.
If they tell you to leave,
That's so. If I go to the police department, you tell me to leave, and I stay there. If I'm not committing a crime, I'm allowed to stay there. That's the law. So as long if this is a public facility, even if they have no trespassing, it's still open to the public. Until I broke a law, I wouldn't be in violation of anything. I mean, I don't know why you give me illegal directives to leave.
I just asked you to. I didn't demand you leave. I asked you.
No, you're like, move along.
Would you like to move along? Yes.
Right, under color of law.
That's a request. That wasn't a demand.
Under color of law, you told me to move along.
That wasn't a direct order. That was a request.
Well, it's an unlawful order if it was. But you did it under color of law, correct?
The officers clearly lacked any knowledge of the law and couldn't even distinguish between public and private property. The auditor was ready to educate them even further. They had attempted to detain him earlier illegally, but realizing their sergeant was approaching, they then tried to backtrack, claiming they were only requesting him. However, the officers were about to violate even more policies.
Your name and badge number?
There you go. You want to record it with your phone?
No, why don't you just say it? Because I know that's your policy.
There it is right there.
Say it. Say it. Name and badge number. Name and badge number, officer. All right. Name and badge number.
Officer Waller, 6635.
See how hard that is?
How are you, sir? How can I help you, sir?
How you doing, Sergeant? Name and badge number?
Sergeant Dilly, Crown Police.
Do you have a badge number or no?
92.
92. Okay. So this officer here refused to identify himself verbally, so I'd like to file an IA on him. And he also told me to move along. Under color of law, it seems like that's a legal thing that he's telling me to do, and obviously I'm on public sidewalk, and it's not illegal to be on public sidewalk recording. So I'd like to file an IA on that gentleman there for those two incidents.
It is troubling how these corrupt officers still fail to understand citizens' First Amendment rights. Even more concerning, the sergeant tried to side with his rookie officers, ignoring the law.
Correctional facility, and they called because you were out.
Yeah, that's fine, but that still doesn't negate what he just did.
What did he do?
He told me to move along under color of law of a public sidewalk with, to me, the threat of arrest, even though he didn't say that. And then he refused to identify himself because he told me to move along.
Right on his thing. I let him record my name.
That's not what your policy is. Your policy says you're supposed to identify yourself, not just by pointing at your titty and saying, here it is. You don't say that to a judge, right? Hey, judge, look at... And just... You still can't say his name and badge number. You did, he did, no problem. You know, ego's got to go.
The auditor filed a complaint against the officer right on the spot and further educated the officers on their legal obligation.
So exactly where's their property line at?
I'm actually trying to figure that out.
I don't have it mapped out.
We'd have to go down to the city and get the lot.
And is there a way for you to find out if that's public property or not? If that's a public facility?
I don't know if anybody in the facility...
And this guy's demanding my ID and stuff like that. He's not a cop. Even you guys can't get my ID. I haven't broken a law.
The gentleman in there?
Yeah, the gentleman with the blue shirt on. And I haven't broken a law. You guys know that.
He's like, over here, I don't think you did.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I totally agree with it. I mean, but telling me to move along.
I just asked you.
Yeah, but under color of law, you're like, yeah, you need to move.
Both officers were left speechless and dismissed, but the auditor wasn't finished. He soon noticed another officer on the scene driving without a seatbelt, ready to call out yet another violation.
Name badge number? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You guys, you have your seatbelt on? No? So we don't wear seatbelts? What are we doing in this town? So you guys don't have a policy to wear seatbelts either?
Have a good day, sir. All right.
No, I'm following an IA. So that officer right there doesn't have a seatbelt on. Sergeant. Excuse me, Sergeant.
Yes, sir, I heard you. Have a good day. I heard you. 934.
All right, no problem. I'll do an IA on you. You just want to walk away? You got your officers here with no seatbelts on? You got officers here with no seatbelts on.
Have a good day.
So your policy is not to have seatbelts on? Huh?
Cops were destroyed like they have never been encountered before. They truly had no basis for their statements and were instantly owned and humbled. These cops were instantly owned, but you'll be surprised to see what happens with this next officer.
You didn't have that.
This is your money?
Yes, I heard him crumble it up. Thank you. Thank you. All that's been recorded, right? That's my money.
On March 14th, 2024, Officer Henry Chapman responded to a traffic stop. The driver, Moncray Moon, was found to have an outstanding arrest warrant and then placed in handcuffs. But what happened next took a turn for the worse.
Sir, come on, step back here. Go ahead and place that call. Touch phone on the top of it.
What am I doing? I'm going to explain everything to you. That's why I'm having you out.
So you are under arrest at this time. You have a warrant out for your arrest.
A warrant for what? I'm going to show it to you in a moment, okay? Is this your car?
It's my girlfriend's car.
Your girlfriend's car. Can he drive it, the guy that's in the passenger seat?
Yes, sir.
right here in the party.
Step feet right this little bit. Okay. I'll get this step out your way.
After Moncray was arrested, the officers discovered that he had $8,000 in cash. Instead of giving the money to Moncray's passenger, as protocol required, Officer Chapman decided to take it to the police station. That decision sparked a major issue.
What is that? I get cash. No, that's going with you. That's going to be with you. We're not giving that to anybody else. We got that off you, so it's staying with you. So you know we didn't take none, and none's going to be missing. All right, but I want to money. We'll put this in the bag for you, okay? Yeah, here. Here you go.
I got you.
Yeah, she's counting it right now.
You're gonna watch me, okay?
I heard the early band get shot.
Moncray made a wild accusation of Officer Chapman of stealing some of his money. When a female officer counted the cash before him, the amount seemed off, further fueling his suspicions.
Hold up. Check it out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
I'm not trying to question you.
Let me count it first.
No, can you look in between his legs real quick? Well, I think he just put some more money in between his legs. I'm sorry.
How much money did you have on you? I'm asking.
I haven't touched it. Can you just check in between his legs?
Sir, listen to me.
He's moving and everything. Look, he's moving. Sir, I'm good.
Sir, listen to me. Tell me how much cash you had on you. What was the amount?
I just want to see. I'm not gonna lie. Can you check? I'm not going nowhere. Can you check your fellow officer for me, please?
Yeah.
We're good. Hell no. He just touched me. I heard the rubber band pop. He told me, oh, I had to look. And he's moving. He's moving in between his legs.
Sir, stand right here.
I'm gonna stand right here, but can y'all please check y'all fellow officer? Please. What's going on? Look, he's moving his arm right now.
How much cash did you have on you?
Can you check your hands?
I didn't.
Can you check your people's? Because he's touching.
Yeah.
Tell me what's the total amount?
Officer Chapman's nervous demeanor said it all. His visible unease and silence only strengthened Moncray's claims. More officers arrived. Chapman's fraud was about to be exposed.
Right in his right hand.
Tell me how much money you
He's
had
tucking
on you.
money. He's tucking my money. That's a problem. Can y'all check him?
Listen to me. Listen.
Look at him moving. He's moving. Oh my God! Y'all not gonna check him?
Listen.
Look at
Chill
him.
out.
Listen. Come on.
I've been cooperating
Let me tell
with
you
you guys the whole time. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna allow anybody to take your money.
Look at him. He's moving.
But look at me. No one's gonna take your money. I can see his hands. I can see exactly what he's doing. No one's gonna take your money. She's gonna count your money. There's more money.
Watched him touch my money. And you
There's
guys
more
didn't
money
even
in here.
check it.
You're saying that there's more money in here?
But what I'm saying is
Let me ask you a question. Answer my question. Are you saying that there's more money in here?
What I'm saying is he just touched my money and went through 3 different floor compartments, and I seen him put it in between his legs. I heard my rubber band.
Moncray claimed that he heard his rubber band pop, which was enough evidence to claim that the officer was a thief. The supervisor then removed Chapman from his vehicle as tensions escalated further.
I'm saying, but he already moved and did a lot of different stuff.
Okay, come sit over here.
But y'all already let him move, like, there's no way. Like, watch. That's crazy. I can't believe y'all just did me like that. I tried to give her the money. He said don't give it to her.
Okay.
Because I went to Wendy's. I got a Wendy's receipt right.
But do you know how much cash you had on you so I can count it out so we can verify the total? Do you know approximately how much you had on you?
I heard my rubber band being popped.
I just grabbed it from the seat to give to her.
That's not what you just told me either, boss.
I did. That's what I did. And I handed her the
I'm not gonna lie, boss.
envelope.
Have I gave you any problems?
No, sir, you have not.
That's all I wanted to ask, sir. I just don't understand why y'all couldn't. Like, I'm not going. I sit on my face. I'm not going nowhere. I just wanted to.
I'm asking you what your total was so we can count it out.
Now, this was a serious allegation against a law enforcement officer. And while it might seem unlikely for a cop to steal money, Moncray stood his ground and refused to leave until a thorough investigation was conducted.
I watched him tear up. I watched him look at you and tell him, like, look at you and tell you, no, you're not about to. I just watched him do way too much when I haven't been nothing but nice and compliant to you guys, you feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to go along with you guys' protocols and everything. All I've done was ask questions so I know how, like, to make sure I'm safe and my family can find me and stuff. And you guys' body cam is on, like I know.
Mine is on right now.
But I know for a fact what I seen and what I heard. And then when I asked him why was he like popping the rubber band on the money, he said I was just making sure something, but it's no need to make sure, you feel what I'm saying? Like, that's my property, you feel what I'm saying? And I know for a fact the money was touched, but it's a million compartments.
Yes, I did touch it when I grabbed it out of the seat.
I understand, so I don't want to argue with you, Mr. Chapman. I just know what
No, sir.
Okay, so what I typically do is count out everybody's money in front of them, so you can see that it's accurate.
The money was altered before.
So when I turn it over to property, you can verify that the total we're counting out now is the total that you're going to get back. Okay? Are you good with me doing that right now?
Despite the odds, Moncrief's claims carried some weight. It seemed Officer Chapman had chosen the wrong person to mess with.
Miss Casperson, I'm not trying to cause any problems. I just know what I know, you know what I'm saying? I know, I heard the rubber band pop. I seen him fiddling. He did not just keep his hands up the whole time. Like no, I didn't. He didn't open the door and say, "You can search me." Look, you know what I'm saying? I heard my money. I'm a very great businessman. I just paid bills a couple days ago. You know what I'm saying? I just know for a fact that he touched my money. And then he was adamant about not giving my money to my wife or the cameraman that was with me. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, "No, you're gonna keep your money on you," which wasn't a problem. You know what I'm saying? But him touching the money prior to just putting it in I've been listening the whole time. He asked for a small envelope. He didn't put the money in there then.
Disregarding Moncrief's claims, the female officer then counted the money and placed it in an envelope as evidence. Shortly after, Chapman began attempting to prove his innocence, a move that came across as suspicious. The suspect refused to let the matter go, prompting the sergeant to search Officer Chapman's vehicle.
Anything is on him,
Look, sir.
it would be in big. No, I don't.
Look, I'm gonna show you right here. Look at me. Look at me.
All of you guys probably have kids out there, you know what I'm saying?
Look.
So look, this is all I want to explain to you guys. Most of the time, when somebody know they didn't, when somebody knows for a fact they didn't do anything, they're not finna just, you feel what I'm saying, let you search them. And I don't have kids, you feel what I'm saying? But I know how that goes because my mom did foster care. So I'm up to par with all of that. And on top of that, if I didn't do anything, like how me and you been talking the whole time,
yes,
just
sir.
like how me and you was talking the whole time, if I didn't do anything, I have nothing that I'm worried about. You feel me?
I want you to feel
comfortable. I would have
yes, sir.
felt comfortable if your colleagues would have searched you at the exact time where I knew where the money was. Because I seen you kept going in between your legs, and then every time everybody put all of the attention on me, you kept moving. I don't know if it's in your door, I don't know where it's at, but just look. I don't even care to find the money, but how you know how you...
What they uncovered would become the ultimate karma moment for Chapman.
No,
I want you to hold me so you know that.
Okay. Do you see anything?
No, no cap. I'm not even gonna touch it. It's blue hundreds right here. It's all the blue hundreds are right there behind that receipt. Thank you. All that's my money. He didn't have that.
This is your money?
Yes, I heard him crumble it up. Thank you. All that's been recorded, right? That's my money. That's my money right there.
Sir, you've been watching me that whole time.
I seen you take it. I seen you crumble
Sir,
it. Just
that
count
is
it.
not me.
If I'm right, it's gonna be around $1,000. If I'm right, and like I told you, I just went to Wendy's. I seen you still.
No, sir.
If you don't mind, I just want to sit down so y'all don't try to say I'm resistant. I don't want to do nothing. All I know for a fact is I know what I know and I've seen it. I just wanted you guys to trust me, you know what I'm saying? That's why I was just acting a little irate, but I'm perfectly fine, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to expose you.
That is not me, bud.
Brother, I just seen you steal my money. It was no reason for you to pop my rubber band, brother. It was no reason for you to pop my rubber band off my money.
It turned out Moncrief was right all along. Officer Chapman had indeed stolen the money, and he was brutally exposed in front of his colleagues who could do nothing but hang their heads in shame.
Mr. Chapman went in my money. He separated my money. He was trying to steal it, and I caught him. He put it in between his legs, and as his colleagues approached me, he worked it towards the door. He tried to make it seem like I was lying. I'm not going anywhere. I'm in full custody of these officers. I'm being detained. I'm not going anywhere. I don't want any problems. I'm not armed. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just pulled over for a traffic stop. He just tried to steal some of my money.
Okay, we're hearing you, but there's no need to say all of
No,
that.
I was just looking at the camera. No, I just know how it goes. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to cause.
My camera's on the entire
Yes, ma'am.
time.
So what are we gonna do about this problem? Because he just tried to steal some of my money.
sir,
And I'm
I
not
did
trying
not.
to put any allegations on him. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not using my words to try to hurt anybody. I just know what I know. You his sergeant.
Yes, he is my sergeant.
Sir, I have 20/20 and I can read. I remember when you called him out, I could tell you everything he said to you. perfect timing. This was perfect. Perfect that you called me out this time because you didn't know the protocol to how a federal warrant was supposed to be taken care of. Correct? Incorrect?
That's correct. That's why I called him out to ask.
But you just separate. Whoa, so what was the purpose of you separating my money while you gave her money while you just watched her count my money out in full? Because you just wasted you wasted the evidence for it.
Moncray, sharp and persistent, reportedly urged the cops to take action against the thieving officer. Soon after, he was escorted to jail, and things were only about to get much worse for him from there.
When she asked me, then I would have been like ridiculed or foreseen as a liar or something. That's why I didn't answer your question, ma'am, because I said that I had just went to Wendy's. I believe that's my receipt. I only ordered a 10-piece nugget and I ordered like a fry and something to drink, so I didn't know the actual amount of the money. All I know is when my girlfriend got off work at 5 o'clock, I was supposed to give her that money for the rest of the bills, and she was going to get her car back. I was in a car this week. That's why I wasn't in my own car, man. That was my girlfriend's car, Diamond Alexander. That's why when you initially pulled me over, and y'all probably have my phones, you can see the call record. I called her at like 4 or something to let her know, babe, I'm being pulled over in your car. In my eyes, I thought it was gonna be for the T-tag, temporary tag thing, the sticker, but like
it was initially just for your speed. I promise you that. Captain, his ID is on the dashboard up there.
Okay. Do you mind putting it in my evidence file? Can I get like y'all names or down?
Yeah.
Thank you.
In a matter of seconds, Officer Chapman was the one who was under investigation. He was escorted into the police station and immediately began being questioned.
So like this is what's going to happen, all right? We have people coming in. Obviously they have to talk to you, all right? So I'm going to hold on to your weapon right quick, okay?
Yep. Go ahead. Just take the whole holster off. It's one of them.
QLS. I got it. Sergeant Burke and one of his detectives will come and speak to you, alright? Anything, man?
No. Just want to say I'm sorry.
I got you, brother. Well, we're going to walk out of here and close the door.
A courtroom serves the perfect karma to police officers, just like here when this entitled officer was owned.
He implicated Erica Patterson when she was a minor. He was convicted of statutory sexual seduction, pled guilty in March of 2007 to that felony offense.
Child predators are among the most despicable individuals, and their actions have no place in this world. Today, we will be looking at cases where these vile individuals were caught in the act and then faced justice in the courtroom. Stick around until the end, as the details of the last case will send shivers down your spine.
Sorry up, Daddy. I'm super. Hey, keep me updated because I want you bad, Daddy. The guy named Jamie Tilley says I'm gonna fuck like a good little if you keep calling me Daddy.
In 2021, Daryl Brook drove his car into a crowd attending a Christmas parade in Wisconsin, tragically taking the lives of 6 people and injuring many others. He was caught and charged with 76 total charges, including sexual assault, which was later revealed in the courtroom.
You can go get it and bring it, but without that letter, I'm not allowing this line of questioning. Do you have the letter with you in court?
I just said no. How many times I gotta say the same thing on record?
You know, sometimes, sir, I don't hear what you say because you interrupt me so much or you answer quietly. And I'm taking notes and I'm focused on probably a dozen things at the same time.
But if I say something under my breath, everybody seems to hear it. Everybody seems to hear that just fine.
In a quiet courtroom, yes, we can hear it very clearly.
And everybody assumes that it has to be disparaging.
Once again, you're doing this tactic
because
to try to
it's not a tactic. It's
what
facts.
We're talking
It's
about
facts.
to some other reason.
It's facts.
The disgusting human had no remorse for his actions, and he was about to get into more trouble as the prosecutor revealed that he was a sex offender as well.
My position, Your Honor, is that these pictures, first of all, should not be admissible. 1, because of a discovery violation. We've never seen this before. 2, because we have reason to believe that he did not get them from Erica Patterson. He is on a jail phone call talking to his mother, Dawn Woods, about Dawn Woods sending these photographs to him. Now,
that's a lie. I object to that.
Let the state make their argument without interruption, sir.
That's a lie, though.
If we go down that road, we would be forced to counter that claim by pointing out that not only does the defendant not live with the child in question, he doesn't live with any of the other children that he has. He impregnated Erica Patterson when she was a in Nevada For doing so, he was convicted of statutory sexual abduction, pled guilty in March of 2007 to that felony offense, and is an offender on the registry as a result. So if there's any causation that would lead to Erica Patterson being a bad mom, Mr. Brooks has a direct role in that causation.
Brooks completely lost his composure when the prosecutor brought this up against him. What he did next will leave you stunned.
And that's
Furthermore,
I'll object to that.
I'm not
because
done.
that's a lie.
Let him
Because at
finish.
the end of the day,
Let him finish,
if we gonna open the door
Mr.
on that. No,
Brooks.
since he want to make a record and not be accurate, so let's be accurate on the record. Since you think you know so much.
Once
So
again,
we can
Mr.
open the
Brooks
door
is
on.
being
We can
loud,
open the door on how old she
disrespectful,
told me she was when we met.
interrupting.
We can ask that question
He is
too. Then
over the
Did you
top,
ask that?
animated
Do you
right
know
now.
that?
Mr. Brooks, I'm ordering you to sit down and to let the
No,
state
that's
finish.
not. I'm not going to sit here and let somebody be inaccurate on the record and lie on the record.
Right. Under Illinois versus Allen, I've warned him repeatedly. He's being removed from the courtroom. And you know what? Let me dial that back. We're just going to take an early lunch, 1 hour. We'll be back.
Now, this is not the ideal behavior you should be showing when charged with over 70 counts. His frustrating behavior only convinced the jury that he was guilty, and they found him guilty on all 76 charges. He was ultimately sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. Next, we have a senator who turned into a child predator and was caught red-handed.
Hurry up, Daddy. I'm super horny. Hey, keep me updated because I want you bad. A guy named Jamie Tilley says I'm gonna fuck a good little boy if you keep calling me.
In March 2017, police officers rushed to a motel after the father of a 17-year-old contacted them, saying that he was taken to the room by an adult. As the officers banged the door open, they discovered the man was none other than Oklahoma State Senator Ralph Allen Shorty. He was arrested and interrogated by a couple of detectives.
The man I was with, I know, has, I've known him for, we've been talking, he's come to the coffee shop that I operated a couple times. I've even had him over to my house, play video games before. Had no idea, told me when I first met him that he was 20. And so when they first got there, I didn't know what the issue was. Didn't know if it was, somebody trying to get in or what. There was a minor inside the room. Obviously, I had no idea when I first met this young man. He told me he was 20 years old. Like I said, we've been talking on the phone for a while. What I asked him was, I said, "Are you?" "No, let me go talk to them." I said, "Okay." And he went out there, and that's, I don't know what they talked about, but I asked him to check his IDs. Again, I'd never even thought to ask him for his ID. There's no reason to.
Shorty tried to play the worst defense possible, claiming that he never knew he was a minor, and also claimed that he was not ever interested in him. But little did he know the detectives were fully prepared.
They said they smelled in the room. Were y'all smoking?
No.
Was there any in there?
No.
His tablet, he has a conversation that he says he had with you using an app called Kick. Do you know what that is? Okay. Well, there's a pretty lengthy conversation on his tablet that he says is with a guy that is you, that is online, or the Kick ID is Jamie Tilley. And you told officers that night that that's what your online.
He called me Jamie. And I'm not sure why.
Okay.
The officers had their hands on the conversation that happened on Kick. In no time, Shorty's lies were about to be exposed, and you'll be left shocked after hearing what he talked about.
He says, "I need money for spring break." Jamie Tilley says, "I don't really have any legitimate things I need help with right now. Would you be interested in?" He says, "Yes." This goes on about how I come get you, blah, blah, blah. He starts calling this guy. Says, "Hurry up, Daddy. I'm super horny. Hey, keep me updated because I want you back." The guy named Jamie Tilley says, I'm gonna f like a good little boy if you keep calling me. This goes on. Well, then it gets to the end. It says, "Okay, I'll be down the street, a couple houses in about 10 minutes or so."
Shorty Shorty initially denied being behind the Kick ID Jamie, launching into a series of blatant lies. Ironically, he had earlier admitted to the officers that he was using that very account, making his denials even more absurd.
That sees him get in a white Grand Cherokee, and they followed the white Grand Cherokee to the hotel at Super Bowl, first to 4th and Eastern at the gas station, and then to the Circle K. Yeah, knock on the door, and then you come out. So again, I ask, you told officers that you had online identity Jamie. This guy, Hayden, saying that he was talking to you. We got a witness putting you, picking him up at the same time that this message was sent saying I'm here. So I kind of got to say that Jamie Tilley's you.
It's not me.
It's not you. Okay.
We communicated by phone.
Shorty tried to dodge the cops yet again, but this wasn't the only evidence they had against him, as things kept worsening.
Now, you said he's come to your house several times to play video games?
I think just once.
Come to your house once to play video games, and then you guys met at the coffee shop a couple of times? Okay. What if I said that he told you guys met through a Craigslist ad the very first time, and he posted in Casual Encounters?
No.
Okay. In this conversation, it says, she needs me to go to the store for her. My 3-year-old is sick. That's one of the things I've been dealing with tonight. We're not going to have enough time. Can we get together tomorrow, maybe after 1? It goes on talking about coffee shop, my coffee shop. I'll be alone in about 10 minutes. I'll be your slave. That sounds nice. I mean, we go on and on. And how old is your youngest child?
5 months.
Okay. So he's telling me that when he first met you through Craigslist, that he had posted an ad in Casual Encounters, and that he had a lot of responses for it, but that you said that you wanted him to mess around with your wife while you watched. He said that he showed up to do better. You guys got together and started talking about that. He found out your wife was pregnant, and then said that it never happened because she was pregnant.
The officers had also found they first arrested Shorty from the scene, and all the chat they had matched with the events that later happened between them.
So here's the deal, Ralph. You and I both know what the truth is, and the truth is not what you're telling us. We're not saying you're a bad guy. We're not saying you set out thinking that this is some 15-year-old kid you're going to go bang. We're not saying that. We're saying, hey, hell, maybe you didn't know how old he was. I don't know. I think you probably did based on what he's telling me, but things are what they are. Tell us the truth. Get it out there. Let's get this over with. Get this behind us so we can all move on. Tell us what's going on. You told the officers there that you had an online identity of Jamie. He's talking about you talk about in these texts when this Kick account about your kids and your kid being sick and your coffee shop and then you got customers left and that you close at 8. I mean, it's clearly you. It's clear, and we got a witness that put you there. When you say,
I absolutely picked him up.
when you say I'm here, the witness is waiting down the street because she thought it was jacked up. She thought it was jacked up that he didn't tell her where he was going or anything like that. So she sits down the street and waits. And then she sees him go to the Super 8 hotel with you. And then she gets scared and wondering what the heck's going on, so she calls the police. Or calls his dad. And then who in turn calls us. So here's the deal. We're trying to give you an opportunity, all right, to help yourself out here.
Just when you think the detectives have read enough of their conversation, you will be shocked to the core by what is yet about to happen.
I'm telling you, that's not me.
That clearly is you. Ralph, that's a lie. You're lying to us right now. That's clearly you. No one else but $6 coffee shop. I'm here and you're there. That's clearly you.
I don't know who else you could have been talking to.
Shop and has a kid, 2 kids, and all this stuff. And it's you. And here's the deal. He says it's you that he's talking to. You show up. He shows up.
I mean, that's not true at all.
Yeah, there was condoms in your bag. The cop saw them.
That's just not absolutely not true. I did not show up there for any thing.
Exchange dick pics. And when hopefully you didn't take a picture of your phone because that's going to tag it whenever you send it to somebody.
I don't do that. Well, I wouldn't.
The audacity of the senator to lie and lie is shocking. It was later discovered that he used to solicit minors from Craigslist using job advertisements. Truly a despicable human who should be punished for his vile act.
I just don't understand why he would do that. He has nothing to gain from this. Except for how does that help him? I have no idea. Yeah, I mean, why would that screw him? On probation or whatever. He has no idea who you are. He thinks your name is Jamie. He has no idea what your real name is. None. Your phone with you right now? No. Where is it at? Honestly, I lost it. Lost your phone.
The detectives pressed harder, directly accusing Shorty of the heinous crime. Yet despite the mounting pressure, he clung to his fabricated story.
How much stuff had you guys done together? Nothing. So that was going to be the first time? We weren't doing anything. I know not when we got there you weren't, but that was the plan for that evening. Clearly it was. I'm telling you it wasn't. I don't have any legitimate work for you. Are you interested in sex? Would you be interested in any sex? He says yes. Then I mean, it gets worse going down through here. As far as talking about it. It says, I mean, at one point, I don't know, I may have said this earlier, I'm gonna a good little if you keep calling me daddy. He goes, yes, daddy, please. Did you ever have sex with him? No, never. Did you ever give me? No. Did he ever give you? Didn't seen him naked or even asked.
Shorty's behavior shows his guilt. He avoids eye contact, constantly changes his story, and his voice begins to falter. As the detectives read more of the incriminating conversation, his discomfort becomes undeniable.
Well, you can't help with this stuff. You can definitely help with my. That's another statement. I'm just going through reading what you wrote because I can prove that you wrote it. I mean that's you. So I'm just letting you know so you know what's coming down the pipe. So how did you contact? If that's not you, how did you contact him last night or that night? I think he called me. He doesn't have a phone. I'm sure he called me. That's all I can say. I don't know. How did he know that you were outside? He called me and I told him I was on my way. I told him I'd be there in a certain amount of time and I got there. Did you use this phone that you've lost? That was the only phone I had. It's going to make sense to a jury of your peers? All I can say is the truth, sir. And you're not. I agree. All you can say to help yourself out is the truth, but you're not doing that.
This revelation is the final nail in the coffin proving Shorty's guilt. It is hard to believe his claim of losing his phone on the exact day that he was being investigated for the crime.
But it's hard to believe that you magically lost your phone on the way over here as well. It's not the first time, sir. Well, and just look at it, okay. Take all this crap in this conversation that we've had out of, all right? He comes in and talks to us, knowing that he's had a conversation with this minor on an electronic device, all right? Probably his phone, because of the way he was at the store, he was at the guy's store, he was in his car, so more likely it was on the guy on his phone. So you're coming in blind, not knowing. Also extremely nervous. Well, I got you. I know, but put yourself in my shoes. You're coming in blind, only knowing that we're going to want to talk to you about, the hotel room, and all of a sudden you come in and you don't have a phone, and I know you live with your phone. You have to. So that's just strange to us,
The detectives try one last tactic. One leaves the room while the other, appearing more cordial, questions Shorty about his guilt. Despite the change in tone, the senator stubbornly sticks to his story.
He said he needed money for spring break.
Back in what sense? Was he going somewhere?
I don't know. Didn't say.
So you asked me earlier if there had been any back in the past. Does he allege that? He said you guys kissed. When? Before May of last year. That's not
is then given the silent treatment, as the detective keeps quiet for a while before asking him one last time.
That is so clear to you. You and I both know that's you. Anyone we show that to is going to know that's you. Well, that's the problem. It's not a problem. It's the truth. What I'm saying is the problem is that for some reason, you think that if you stick your head in the sand and ignore it, it's going to go away. It's not. Your best bet is to tell us the truth, tell us what happened, and then move on from this. Make this a bump in the road, not the road. I mean, it's that simple, really. This is not a defining moment. This is just a moment. No, this is. You've had other things happen in your life that were awful at the time, and then now they look back on them, they're still awful, but they didn't change who you were. They didn't make. It didn't. It's a bump.
After nearly an hour of repeated denials, Shorty remained unyielding. At that point, the detectives decided to conclude the interrogation.
Do you mind if I pat you down real quick?
Next, this auditor knew the law much more than these idiot officers and taught them a quick lesson.
So you solicited a trespass without doing your investigation.
Police officers are meant to enforce the law and not consider themselves above it. Today we will dive into cases where corrupt officers were caught in the act and instantly regretted their decision. On August 30th, 2024, a First Amendment auditor, Livingston Audits, was filming outside a Jolly Pumpkin when the branch manager contacted 911 complaining about him. Moments later, 2 officers arrived and began intimidating the auditor.
Hey, what's up? Good. Yourself?
Good. So we just got a call from Jolly Pumpkin here saying that they don't want you to videotape in this area right here.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have your ID on you?
Am I committing a crime?
So they just want you to be moved along from the premises.
Okay.
Have you been trespassed?
No, I'm not even on their property.
So this is Jolly Pumpkin's property right here.
The public sidewalk is their property? I mean, they clearly broke off what they're using.
This is for seating right here.
This is... Hey, what's up, bro?
Do you mind if I see your ID?
Have I done something wrong?
So they just want you moved along, so we don't know if it's up to go in there and ask them if they want you trespassed or not to being on the property.
The auditor stood his ground, asserting that he was on public property and the company had no claim. However, the officers were determined to get his ID, ignoring his rights.
I'm not trying to make it hard for you at all.
I'm not trying to either. I just really believe that I'm on public property, not their property, and therefore I'm not committing a crime. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm taking pictures in public, which is a First Amendment right. I know. Therefore, it shouldn't be ID. I shouldn't be trespassed. I shouldn't be anything. This is where I'm at.
Yeah, I understand. Ultimately, they just don't want you on their property anymore because it can kind of make other people feel uncomfortable in the area. It's making staff feel uncomfortable.
To stop the trespass, I'll move down to the end of their barrel, and then it's confusing.
Livingston Audits remained calm and cordial, even agreeing to move away from the establishment. However, while speaking with the female officer, Officer Sermon went inside the restaurant to speak with the employee who had made the call.
Hi. Are you the one that called on him? Okay. You want him trespassed?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yep.
All right, my man. You got your ID on you?
Have I broken the law?
No, they want you trespassed, so therefore we have the right to ID.
I have a right to leave then, right?
No. You are now being detained because you are going to be trespassed. I need to identify you before you're trespassed. In order to write you your trespass notice.
That's good that you took the glasses off, man. So you're going to trespass me from this sidewalk?
Yeah, you want me to take care of it. What's that? No, you're trespassed from this establishment.
But I'm not in this establishment.
They have the right to trespass you.
I've never been on their property.
They have the right to trespass you.
So I can stay here.
The sidewalk is public.
So I can stay here.
You have a
You're
First
just
Amendment right.
trespassing me from walking inside. Okay.
Officer Sermon is now clearly violating the auditor's First Amendment right to film, trying to escort him off a public sidewalk just for filming. But the auditor remains firm and makes sure to stand up for his rights.
It's a private establishment.
About people talking
That I never entered.
but yet you're talking when I'm watching these.
Okay, is that the one from Starbucks?
Right?
If they would like you trespassed, you're a trespasser.
If the field house across the street calls you and says they want me trespassed because I'm on a sidewalk, you're going to do it?
Sure.
So anybody,
I highly doubt
you can
that
trust anybody off of the sidewalk.
I highly doubt that Fieldhouse would call and have you trespass just because you're standing on a sidewalk. All right, I'll go ask them then and establish if he ever entered onto. So like past the barrels, that would be their property, right?
Products are responding 3500 college.
Okay. All right, sounds good. I'll go inside with them and double check. All right. I don't know. I think he's just one of those First Amendment guys. Yeah, I think so. Yep. All right, I'll go double check with them inside really quick.
Officer Sermon soon realized that he was in the wrong and returned to the establishment to ask the employees if the auditor had been on their property.
So what has he been doing the whole time? Has he came inside as he came up to the door?
No, he's been where he was at, but he's recording all of my guests and they're putting like menus on their faces and he will not stop recording them and they keep telling him to stop and he will not stop.
Okay.
He told me he was doing an investigation but couldn't tell me anything about anything. And he will not stop. And I said, okay, I'm ready to call the police, see what's going on. He's like, do you think the police will stop me? I said, I guess I'll find out.
Okay. Well, it's kind of a gray line because he's right in front of your establishment, but he never entered it. But the sidewalk is public property. I'm going to have another chat with my sergeant.
Despite realizing that the auditor was right and the manager had no authority to remove him from the sidewalk, a sergeant arrived on the scene. Instead of upholding the law, the sergeant unlawfully detained him.
It was just getting my ID. We're not a stop and ID state. I was breaking no law. They told me I had to.
We're not trespassing you inside.
No, but you broke my Fourth Amendment rights.
The establishment thought you were on their property.
No, they didn't.
That's what they told them.
And I told it, and during the investigation, I clearly stated where I was.
Yeah, that's what
and I was never on their property.
That's what they told us.
Your cops used a trespass warning threat to get my ID from me. Now they got it. Everything's fine now, right?
It's all day today. Nobody wants to let anyone talk.
What happened if I didn't? What happened if I refused to give my ID to your officer?
Did you commit a crime? They'd have to determine if you committed a crime.
They told me I did. They told me I was being trespassed and they needed my ID to trespass me.
Once it was clear that the auditor had never entered Jolly Pumpkin, it became illegal for the officers to demand his ID. At that point, the cops had already committed an unlawful act.
Well, right now my issue is with you guys forcing me to give you my ID.
Okay, I am investigating a possible trespass. Okay, I have reasonable suspicion to ID you because a crime is afoot.
You have reasonable.
I don't know when I come on
to
scene
talk
and
to
I make
everybody
contact with
to
you.
determine if you were inside or on their property.
And he did go in and talk. Did they lie? Did they lie to you? No, you went inside before you took my ID. You went inside and talked to them.
I said, would you like him trespass from your property? They said yes. So then I came outside here.
So you solicited a trespass without doing your investigation. Is what you.
Are you willing to have a conversation with me or no?
You just said you went inside to find out if.
Correct.
I went on their property, but you went inside and said, do you want him trespassed?
Officer Sermon made a huge mistake, and the situation was ripe for a lawsuit. It is officers like him who end up costing their cities huge settlement.
No, I can call the cops on them.
Yeah, we can go talk to them. Yeah, we can go talk to them
100%.
and investigate it.
Why would you? I mean, what are they doing wrong? I can see from here.
Well, what are you doing?
All they're doing is being
They
beautiful.
called us for trespassing.
Well, what are you doing wrong?
That's what the call is. I'll even tell you what the call is.
So you should have never even talked to me. When you see me driving by, oh wow, that's guys in public taking pictures.
How do I know?
Can I have my ID back?
Can we find a way to mediate this where there's not an issue between you and Jolly Pumpkin?
Arrest me. You want to arrest me for being on public property, and then you can appease their feelings, make them feel better,
That's not my goal. That's not why I'm a
Well,
police
it's not my
officer.
goal either.
Okay. So that's why I'm asking.
I'm not going to coddle the feelings. I was never on their property. First Amendment, you heard of that one? Right?
Only after messing the whole situation up did the officers call for mediation. However, it is great to see how calm and collective the auditor was, never once escalating the situation.
What do you want to do here?
I told you what I want to do. I would like to mediate the situation between you and Jolly Pumpkin.
Well, earlier I offered to move down off of the sidewalk in front of their property.
I do not recall that.
Well,
I don't know if I was
Why would I
inside
wanna
during
stay
that.
here?
I do not recall that. I apologize for not recalling that. Can we do that now?
no, you forced my ID, man. Now I'm here.
Yes, and I had every reason to force your ID. Okay, I did.
You have a suspicion that I committed a crime.
Yes.
What was the call? The guy on the camera taking pictures of their
Harassing customers.
The officer clearly needs to revisit the definition of harassment, as taking pictures in public, well, that is not harassment.
Have they been educated, Sarge?
About you being allowed to film publicly.
Yes.
But guests have left because they felt uncomfortable with you getting in their face. They even cover up their faces, I was told. So now we're looking at harassment too, sir.
The camera's not harassment. I didn't talk to him.
Yeah, but that's what the
I
manager
didn't talk
said.
to him.
So that's what she said. They lost guests because they felt harassed by you.
Based off of how they feel, not based off of how you feel. If they feel harassed in a
So that is a crime as well.
It's based off of law.
Yes, harassment is a crime.
The law is if they feel harassed in a reasonable
How anybody can feel a certain way. Right? You can feel a certain way. They can feel a certain way. And people have the right to feel that way. If they feel a certain way, they feel harassed by you. They can feel that way, correct?
Well, what I'm hearing though is a lot of feelings. Feelings.
That's their feelings. I don't control people's feelings. So we can ask them, but they left. It'd be really nice to ask them, but they left. So.
These officers seem to forget their role as law enforcers, focusing instead on people's feelings rather than the law. Watch how their tone shifts the moment they realize that they have messed up.
You're telling me that I have to leave?
I never told you that you had to leave. I told you you could stay right there.
Okay, well, you wanted to become an amicable situation where they were happy and I was happy.
Correct, I did do that. You are correct. I did do that, and I asked you if you could stand over there. Yes, you are right. I did do that. I never ordered you to leave.
They could have said that's their business. That's the people that want to see.
You're in public. I'm sorry. Would you like to move inside? I can do that. Create with guns came because of a guy with camera. Breaking news. 3.
That's not why.
3.
We can talk, okay? I work Sunday as well.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your professionalism.
Shortly, the cops left the auditor alone without even apologizing to him for their unlawful conduct. Livingston has filed a complaint against these officers and plans to file a lawsuit for which he is asking donation. While these cops quickly realized they had broken the law, the next group of tyrants got completely owned by an auditor.
I just want to know who you are. Why does that concern you? Because impersonating a law enforcement officer is a crime, sir. Then you can go file charges against me.
September of 2024, First Amendment Auditor Sean Paul Reyes entered the Perrysburg Municipal Courthouse in Ohio in order to exercise his right to film. Just moments after entering, a clerk approached him and asked him to stop filming.
The First Amendment. No, ma'am, thank you. I appreciate that, though. Thank you.
We do have a local court rule that we don't allow videoing in the courthouse.
In the courthouse?
Yes.
Where is that rule?
It's if you go to our website, which is perrysburgcourt.com. There, when you're on the homepage, there's a blue box that has some things you can choose from.
Why wouldn't that be posted anywhere here?
Because it's on a local court rule, so you can get it on our website. So,
Right. What if somebody didn't have access to the internet? You know, how would anybody know? Why wouldn't it be posted, the rule here?
Well, that's why we come out and tell people that.
Right.
That they're not permitted to video in the courthouse.
The lady was calm as Sean asked about the rule book that prohibited him from filming. As he waited for her, the court administrator turned up and did the unthinkable.
Camera off. Excuse me, sir? Turn your camera off. Who are you? To record in here. Who are you, sir? I'm the court administrator. Turn it off. I just want to to know who who you are. What's your name? Turn it off. Do you see I'm the gonna tell difference you- between? Do you I'm see gonna the tell you difference one between more you time. and the woman that just came out here? I'm going to tell you one more time, and then you What's can your get name, arrested. sir? Arrested for what? Disorderly conduct, obstructing official business. I'm not obstructing anything. This is my Yes, First you are. Amendment right. You're not even a law enforcement officer, You sir. don't have a First Amendment right in this building. Of course I do. You're not allowed to This is not the record. United States of America? Turn it off. Are you a law enforcement officer, sir? Yes.
Yes. The court administrator was behaving as if he were the city's police chief, and his behavior was only about to get worse.
You are a law enforcement officer, so you can effect arrests?
Yes. Turn it off.
I would like to speak to the bailiff downstairs. I'd like to speak to an actual law enforcement officer.
I'm the court administrator, and I'm also a law enforcement officer.
How are you a law enforcement officer and a court administrator?
Why does that concern you?
Because impersonating a law enforcement officer is a crime, sir.
Then you can go file charges against me. I'm a law enforcement officer. Why are you filming in the building?
That probably would have been your first question that you could have asked me instead of coming to me so aggressively. What's your name, sir?
Scott.
Scott. My name is Sean. I'm an independent journalist. All I'm doing
You're not allowed to record in this building. It's a local court rule.
And the clerk is getting me the rules so I can look at it. There is no signage,
In the meantime,
Scott. There is no
turn your
signage.
phone off.
There is no signage that is posted here for me to know. So she's getting me the court rule.
Scott acted like an entitled Karen, showing no respect for the law or the Constitution. It is strange that he believes filming in public is unlawful. Soon after, the bailiff arrived and escorted Sean out of the building.
I just want to read the rule.
You do not.
Yes, you do. You have to be made aware of the rule. This is not a crime.
I'm telling you what the rule is.
Hey, sir, how are you?
Right now. How about you? Turn it off.
Sir, I'm going to ask you to de-escalate. There's no law being broken here.
I don't care what you would like me to do.
Okay, so why should I care what you? She's getting me the rule. She's getting me the court rule to read.
Okay. The phone's coming out of your hands.
It's not. That would be a violation of my rights. I'm not breaking any law, sir. Why would the phone come out of my hands?
Just did a minute ago.
No, you did not. You said to turn off the phone. Ma'am, can I see the rules?
You can get online.
I missed the chance to see the rules? Are you kidding me?
Until we get this figured out, I'm going to ask you to leave, okay?
All right, I'll wait for the PD. That's the first time. I want to make it clear. The first time someone's asked me to leave. You told me a million times to turn off the phone. Sorry, ma'am. And she has them printed out. You say, don't show it to him.
No, you missed that chance.
She has the rules printed out, and you don't show it to him.
That earlier.
Sean was soon escorted out of the building, then by a female cop. As he narrated the entire incident to her, she seemed uninterested in helping him.
I'm not. I travel around the country. I investigate governments. This is what I do. I'm an activist. I work with law enforcement as well on First Amendment rights. If there's a rule, I just wanted to see it. I don't think that was too unreasonable of a request. I don't know if somebody's lying to me or not.
So they should have them posted.
Right. My objective here is not to get arrested and that's not what I want. File lawsuits. People are like, oh, you just want to you want us to violate your rights so you can file a lawsuit. No, I don't. I don't want you to violate my rights, and I don't want to be arrested. I'm here to promote transparency.
The issue is that, like I said, for all the city buildings, which this is attached to our city, the police department, and it's attached to the municipal building, which is the city offices, there's postage saying that you cannot record inside.
Right.
So,
but there's not anything posted here. You have to advise people by being posted.
The female officer clearly had no understanding of the law. Filming in public buildings is a protected constitutional right. Despite this, Sean was illegally detained for no reason.
The difference is between the court administrator and the clerk. All she said was, you can't record in here, sir. I understand. If you have any questions, I can answer you. I said, well, can I see the rule? She said, yeah, not a problem. I have not. When the clerk came out to give me the rules, he said, don't give it to him. That doesn't make any sense.
Like I said, the only other thing I think might be an issue is if you somehow are interfering with court proceedings or anything like that.
Well,
which,
I think I was just. That's it. I mean, I wasn't being. I was talking in the same level as I'm talking to you. But the court administrator, Scott, he just didn't want to. He was letting his ego get the best of him. I deal with law enforcement all the time. I'm not anti-law enforcement. I'm just pro-rights. That's it, and pro-transparency.
Moments later, one of the officers emerged from the building holding a 75-page document, supposedly explaining why filming inside was illegal.
This is all filed through the Ohio Supreme Court and is approved by them.
Okay.
And it's because of the size of our court, they said, when you're going upstairs, there's a chance you could be filming victims of crimes and all that, which they have to protect the victims of crimes. Okay?
Well, couldn't you film victims? I understand what you're saying, and I no problem with it. I'm just saying you could film victims of crimes on the sidewalk walking into the court, right?
There's a higher chance that you're going to be videotaping a victim in that room than out here, I guess.
Right. Well, anybody that walks in could potentially be a victim. That's what I'm talking about. How would I know up there?
No, I'm saying, how would you know that they're actually going into the court?
Right. Well, I mean, this is the courthouse, right?
So in this packet, Rule 9.04, video recording prohibited. Use of video recording or videotaping devices and the use of still photography devices inside the Perrysburg Municipal Court shall be prohibited.
Just when it seemed that the situation was resolved, the officer demanded that the auditor delete the footage that he had taken inside the building.
Well, now that we're done with that and you have the...
Am I being detained any longer?
No, but since you were in violation, are you able to just delete the video that when you were inside? You can keep the recording of when you were outside talking with us.
Well, no, unless I'm being forced to under threat of arrest or threat of contempt, I'm not going to. Just it's my right to record.
It's not your right, though.
Not. I mean, I think it was. There was nobody in there that was. I just want to know if I'm detained because I'd like to get out of here.
You're being detained.
I'm still detained.
So we can figure out what they want to do because you were in violation. They provided that.
Right. So what is? Sir, I just don't want to put down my phone. What does it say on there? The consequences of the violation. What does it say that the consequences would be? I mean, if you want to arrest me for disorderly conduct, go ahead. That's an easy charge to beat because I didn't do it. I wasn't disorderly. He's cursing. He was cursing and screaming and raising his voice. I've been talking the same thing the whole time.
The issue is that you have the recording where you're not supposed to be recording it.
But again, I did not know. I did not see a rule.
The female officer was creating an issue out of nothing, trying to overestimate her authority. However, she was about to be proven wrong once again.
Now I'm already out of the courthouse after you showed me.
You have the recording that was inside that.
Right.
That's why they provided it.
It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You could just, erase. Even if I'm arrested, even if I'm arrested, you still can't go into my phone and erase it, right? You still can't. You need a warrant. All right. I mean, even if you arrest me, it doesn't solve the problem of the recording. It's not going to get erased. You can't just go into people's phone and erase their footage. Thank you. Have a good day. All right, guys. So we're just getting out of the Perrysburg Municipal Court.
This rookie officer made a huge mistake, not knowing that karma catches up pretty quickly.
With your middle finger extended, you said, quote, yelled it, and then said, you, as you drove away. Oh my God. Hands on the hood. Come on. Now put your right hand on your back. Oh my God, sir.
Some cops break the law thinking they can avoid accountability, but sometimes karma catches up with them fast. Today we will look at cases where corrupt officers faced instant consequences and got what they deserved. On February 9th, 2018, Gregory Bombard was driving across the street when he crossed a police officer and went over to light a cigarette. Moments later, the officer pulled him over, and you will be stunned to know the reason for the stop.
You need something? You need something? Yeah. No, it looked like you put me off when you were going by there. Looks like you went like this to me as I was driving by you. Were you looking? Did you not do that?
No, you might have thought I might be stretching. I was doing this.
Okay, so you didn't...
No.
Okay, you didn't intentionally do that then.
I thought I flipped you off.
Yeah, it looked like you looked right at me and looked like you stuck your middle finger up in my face.
No, I was doing this. Yeah. You must be really sensitive if the trooper is flipping you off.
Well, I don't need to make it personal, you know. I mean, you looked right at me, and I don't know if you were lighting a cigarette or you had your one.
It is shocking to see just how thin-skinned State Trooper Jay Riggin proved to be. Even if Gregory had flipped him off, the stop was not justified. It's a constitutionally protected act.
First of all, I'm not an overly sensitive person, and it's the first time in 12 years I've ever stopped someone who I thought put me off, so I don't like that insinuation. You know what I'm saying? In talking, let's
I flipped you off.
I want to make sure that you're all right. Yeah, it's an unusual behavior.
It's unusual behavior.
You may not have been doing that, but I think you can agree that if someone was looking for the attention of a trooper, they're probably going to find it by giving them that type of negative signal. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't know, because I don't understand that.
If somebody were to do that, can we? That may not have been you. But can we agree? If somebody did that for a trooper, they're obviously looking for their attention.
No, I wasn't looking for your attention.
I know. I'm saying if someone did that. I'm trying to put you in my mindset from what I was thinking for a moment.
Trooper Riggin should have just ended the stop right away and let him go, but instead he seemed determined to make something out of nothing. Well,
now that I'm talking to you, I realize that maybe that wasn't the case. Right? You don't strike me as someone who would do that. I don't know that until I have a conversation with you. Agree with that? I don't know you until I have a conversation with you.
Okay, so I have a question. If someone flipped you off, what is the citation? What's the crime?
So, if somebody flicks me off,
yeah.
I don't know if they're signaling to try to get my attention because they need assistance or they need to have a conversation. But obviously, it's not normal behavior, so I'm going to have that conversation. Right, so it's not normal. I'm telling you, out of thousands of public interactions, I've never seen that. At least it didn't catch my attention, but it was so obvious what she did.
No matter how much the trooper tried to portray this gesture as illegal or suspicious, it is not something that he has the authority to pull someone over for. It is cops like these who cause their cities massive lawsuits.
Well, I won't take up any more of your time.
Well, I'm going to file a complaint with you.
You're more than welcome to. It's Trooper Reagan out of the Salvas Barracks.
But I don't understand why, like, you saw it took you off.
I was going by there, and your middle finger was extended while you were looking at me.
Maybe I was doing this. I was doing this.
Well, I also see that you had a cigarette in your hand.
Yeah.
So it's possible that you had one hand up while you're cigarette.
That would be considered freedom of expression and speech. So I'm going to file a complaint.
So actually, you're more than welcome to. So here's the issue: is that although maybe freedom of expression, it is so unusual that it requires intervention to make sure that you don't need help at the time. Are you trying to signal my attention or something? Okay, so it may be freedom of expression, but it crosses the line. Whereas it is so unusual that it requires intervention. And I'm not going to delay any more than I need to. Listen, sir. Once I realize that you weren't clicking me off, you're free to go. You understand?
The trooper let him go after 3 minutes of struggle, but if you think the fun ended here, you are completely wrong, as things were about to take a turn for the worse.
Now you don't realize I flipped you off.
Once I realized
What if I did flip you off?
Then we have a conversation on what's appropriate and not appropriate. It's other things to do than to be...
So if I did flip you off,
have a good day. Looks like as he pulled away, he called me an asshole and said fuck with the bird. I'm going to arrest him for disorderly conduct. There are multiple people around there. 240 Song, send me another unit to Brainerd Street in the city.
The trooper desperately wanted this to happen. He was just looking for an excuse, and here he had one. Looks like he has no clue about freedom of expression and has never even read the Constitution.
Okay, so now you're under arrest for disorderly conduct. Get out of the car.
I'm under arrest for disorderly conduct. What did I
So
do?
all the people there saying fuck asshole, all the people there in the public, that's a crime, sir. So get out of the car, you're under arrest.
How am I under arrest for disorderly conduct?
I'm not going to debate this with you. Please step out of the car. You are under arrest. Step out of the car.
How is that disorderly conduct, sir? How is that disorderly conduct?
Although the first interaction...
I just got up. I'm having a coffee.
Listen to me. Ask me a question. Although the first interaction may have been an error, the second one certainly was not. And while your window was down, with your middle finger extended, you said, quote, asshole, yelled it, and then said, fuck you, as you drove away. And all that public there heard it and saw it. So that is disorderly conduct 101. Step out of the car.
The trooper's escalation of this event was scary to say the least, and now he was threatening Bombard of arrest. Just then, he took his rage to a whole new level.
Have a lot of...
Step out of the car. Step out of the car, you're going to be ejected from the car.
How am I going to
Step out of the car.
Can I meet you at the barracks?
No, you cannot. Step out of the car, you're under arrest.
Can I call your supervisor?
Do not. We'll be at the barracks when we get there. Step out of the car, you're under arrest.
How am I under arrest?
Step out of the car, I'm going to make you.
But, sir, can you explain to me how that is...
It's disorderly conduct. It is tumultuous behavior. All the motor vehicle traffic there, you cannot do that. It's tumultuous. It's profane behavior in public.
I don't understand that.
Step out of the car. I'll lock the door and step out of the car.
Oh, my God, I can't believe this.
Step out of the car.
You're serious, sir.
Walk back here.
Oh, my God.
It wasn't a problem until it became a problem. You understand now?
Are you kidding?
Riggin clearly misunderstood the definition of disorderly conduct. His actions showed that he was unfit for police duty, and his call for backup only highlighted his poor judgment.
Hands on the hood.
Oh, my God.
Hands on the hood.
Come on.
And put your right hand behind your back.
Oh, my God, sir. You're kidding.
Other hand. Other hand. I'll take care of it. Okay.
I cannot believe this, sir. I cannot believe this.
The first one may have been there, and the second one certainly was
not.
How
is it disorderly conduct? I'm not being disorderly. How is it causing disorderly?
Now, we can maybe agree to disagree, but yelling at and saying with your hand out of the window in front of we're probably dozens of people, if not over 100 people, in very busy Main Street traffic. Now, that's disorderly conduct 101. That first thing may have been an error, but after that, it certainly wasn't. But now I'm wondering, if maybe you actually did do that as I thought you originally did. Because only somebody who then would have the audacity. I was smoking a cigarette and I was you may let me speak now.
It is unclear if anyone heard Bombard's words, but the officer repeatedly shouted them in front of the people on the road. Funny how that doesn't qualify as disorderly conduct.
Audacity to do that. Someone has the audacity. I've made thousands and thousands of car stops, and I don't remember any time I've ever seen someone consciously put me in the bird. So now I'm convinced that you did. Especially that behavior to actually get the end of the stop. Okay, so you are under arrest, and that's the end of the story.
Whatever. I don't know what to do here, so I'm going to.
What we're going to do is just be compliant.
Well, I am, but I'm not going to answer my questions, I guess.
I'm worried about my car. I'm not intending to ask you the questions.
I'm worried about my cars, sir.
Jeff, get them staying there.
Sir, can you please? Can I please go?
No. Nope. That ship sailed.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my God.
I'm all set now.
So what happens to my car?
Well, it says no parking inside of the street, so it's going to get towed.
Where? Where does it get towed?
I'll give you a record of your preference. Come back over here.
Can I get my personal bag?
I can grab it for you, but you can't grab it. You understand you've been arrested, right? So you don't just get to drag around your car now, right? I mean, you can't take around. You've been arrested, so you're in custody, so that's gonna.
All right, whatever.
It turns out the entire department is filled with idiots who know nothing about the law. The trooper discusses the incident with another cop, and he completely agrees with what he did.
I drove by him, and I saw his middle finger extended at me.
Really?
So I went and have a conversation with him. It's like, you need to, what's going on? Do you need help? Right? I mean, totally unusual behavior. What's going on? He denied doing it, so I said, okay, maybe he didn't do it. And then...
He absolutely did it, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely did. So then when we got to the car before he left, he, out the window, yelled, asshole, said, fuck you, and put me off in front of 100 people.
Great. I will meet you at the barracks.
It's outrageous.
I'm going to have Candy sit with this.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to the barracks.
Correct.
Poor victim was taken to the police station, where he was charged with disorderly conduct and was released after an hour in custody. The charge was also dropped some weeks later. However, Mr. Bombard didn't stop there and filed a lawsuit against the trooper and the city of Vermont. Ultimately, the city settled the case for $175,000, proving that Trooper Riggin is incompetent. This officer caused his city a massive lawsuit, but this next karma was even sweeter.
Well, as long as he has that fishing pole in his hand and he says he's going fishing, he can carry a firearm on it. Okay.
An open firearm?
Open carry firearm. Yeah.
In July of 2024, a YouTuber who goes by the name of The Armed Fisherman was heading out to fish openly carrying a gun when a couple of police officers pulled him over and began to intimidate him.
What's going on, bud? Happy New Year. Going fishing right over here.
With weapons like that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's
real?
Absolutely.
Those are real?
Absolutely.
Okay, drop your fishing rod.
Hold on. Under Florida State statute.
Just drop your fishing rod.
We're gonna make sure we're safe.
We're gonna make sure we're safe.
We are safe. Hold on. You can't. I
just relax.
Hold on.
We're not saying you can't have them.
Hold on.
There is no open carry law.
There is.
There is no open.
Under Florida statute. Hey, excuse me, sir.
Just relax,
sir. If you want to look in my backpack right now, there's the Florida statutes in my backpack.
You can open carry with
yes.
the AR-15?
Yes, sir.
There is?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I want to see the Florida State law for that.
Hey, can you reach in my bag? Huh?
Not with the small gun.
Small and large, it doesn't matter. While I'm engaged in fishing, hunting, and camping, going to and from such an event, under Florida State Statute 790.25, Section 3, Subsection H, it is completely lawful for me to do this.
To walk on the sidewalk with an AR-15
I can walk, going where I'm going to go fishing, yes, absolutely.
Michael knew exactly what he was doing. As an activist, he knew the Florida statute that permits open carry while fishing or hunting. However, the officers clearly were not familiar with the law.
You can take the. I haven't been aggressive.
Nobody says you have.
All right.
Oh, then what are the cuffs for? What are the cuffs for? What are the cuffs for?
You have an arm.
I'm not. I haven't pointed a gun at anybody.
Nobody says you did.
Then why am I in cuffs?
Just relax.
For safety.
Okay. What do you want to go?
I don't want to walk anywhere. I want to stand right here.
Okay. All right.
I do not. No. Because you have
to. Are they loaded?
The AR is not. My handgun is.
Okay.
And I do not consent. I am going to go ahead and my first, my second, my fourth, and my fifth.
You have a CCW permit?
I'm not concealing a weapon, even if I was. The statute allows me to carry
to open carry.
Absolutely. Or if I wanted, while I'm fishing, hunting, and camping, I can
carry a firearm, a sidearm,
side and long gun. It doesn't matter.
gun.
Okay.
You can carry a hunting gun, but
No,
not
it's a hunting gun.
Okay.
Yeah, but not the pistol.
It doesn't matter. While you're in this,
Okay.
we're gonna
double check.
Everybody's gonna learn a good, valuable lesson today.
Well, that would be great. We would.
The poor guy was handcuffed without any questioning, despite being nothing but cordial. He quickly began giving the officers a much-needed law lesson.
My first is me recording you guys.
Have an ID in here, sir?
No, I do not.
Just your social security number?
Just look at the Florida statute, and we can go ahead and move forward from
You
this.
don't have an ID.
I don't know if I have an ID on me.
Okay.
Normally, I don't carry it because I'm not doing anything illegal.
No,
I do. You do not. If I'm doing something illegal, yes, I have to provide that.
That's not true.
It is 100% true.
Anytime law enforcement starts out, you have to
It
provide
is.
identification.
Some.
Okay. We'll go over it.
Yeah, we're gonna go over it. I would like
a good lawyer.
The fisherman had a better understanding of the law than the officers. He repeatedly urged them to check the statute, but they refused to listen, continuing to bully him instead.
So right now,
Do you ever see any other people walk around with a gun open in the state of Florida?
Yes, I have.
On their side, open like you carry?
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
When?
Let's see, June 24th.
Yeah. How many people?
There was 7 people on June 24th. There was over 40 people at Miami Beach on October 28th.
Yeah, on the beach carrying an open gun.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I can show you videos of it. If you want to look at your phone, you can.
We'll double check. We'll double check.
It's so funny.
And if I'm wrong, I'll apologize to
Yeah,
you.
and I promise, you will get a call. And
Okay.
I actually open carry right over here by your substation.
Okay.
Day in and day out, dude.
Okay.
It's so funny like that, and it's so funny that you guys don't know your laws.
Okay.
Did you know the same Florida statute I'm talking about allows you to open carry your statute? I think it's under L.
The fisherman was stopped and harassed under the guise of officer safety. Now, it makes you wonder just how many people's rights are violated in the name of officer safety.
Why do we have a CCW? Why do we have carry concealed permit?
Because that was adopted. That was adopted in 1987.
So why do we have a CCW then?
That's only
carry and conceal in the state of Florida.
That's if I want to conceal it.
You can't open.
If I want to conceal.
They wouldn't have that law then.
But they also have another different law that clearly states the same reason you get to open carry your firearm.
No, because we're law enforcement, sir.
No, I know, and that's in the statute.
Okay,
it's in the statute.
Not for citizens.
I'm gonna as soon as I get out of these handcuffs, I'm gonna show you the Florida statute that after I got my CCW.
Okay.
They handed me a pamphlet with the 790 statutes.
So you get your CCW to carry. So you get your CCW to carry concealed,
Absolutely.
but you're able to carry your gun open.
While I'm engaged in fishing, hunting, and camping.
Okay. Well, right now
I would like to get your supervisor out here.
Park.
It doesn't matter. It
doesn't matter?
No, absolutely not.
Well, you're not fishing.
I was look right over there.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you video, and I've got video of me fishing from this part all the way down to Veterans Memorial Park.
When the officers realized they had no grounds to arrest him, they began making some bizarre accusation, hoping to find something to hold him accountable for.
No, I didn't.
Okay, I can smell.
I don't. Dude, now you're trying to fish, and now you're fishing.
Okay.
Dude, I haven't touched nothing, dude.
Okay.
And I can't believe you just tried to insinuate that I've been.
I can smell something. It smells
dude,
I can smell alcohol.
Oh, something. You guys are killing me with your freaking insinuations. And
did you find the law? What was this? Let me see. What was the state statute again?
790.25, section 3.
790.25?
Yes, and then the open carry statute is 790.053, and it does say it is not allowed. But when you look at the 790,
it says it's not allowed.
Hold on, but
now there's another statute. Okay, go ahead.
You have to read the statute.
Okay,
sir. Just like you have.
So
to read
which one says you're allowed?
790.25, section 3.
0.25, section 3.
Correct.
Cops even opened the Florida Book of Statutes, but deliberately overlooked the statute that would have required them to release him from cuffs. It is truly bizarre just how ignorant these officers acted.
Michael, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm looking at this stuff that you have, okay?
Yep.
And I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it unfortunately ends right at the part where it discusses where you can have firearms. So is there something in here?
It doesn't, any firearm. It doesn't, statute, AR.
Is it in here, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. 790.25, section 3, subsection. You have to scroll through there. The whole statute's there, ma'am. The whole booklet.
Open to this because you're trying to make a statement?
No, I have it because I have to try to show law enforcement that they're wrong.
758, can you 10-9 that? So you do this often?
Yes.
And you come into contact with
I've got 40 videos on YouTube of me going across the state of Florida doing this.
Well, how about with law enforcement?
Yes. Miami Beach Police Department is getting sued right now.
Okay.
So, yes, because I'm being detained.
For open carry.
Correct.
Okay.
And they are being sued because it is a lawful activity while engaged in fishing, hunting, camping, going to from such an event.
Michael was being illegally detained, and to make matters even worse, the cops did something even more bizarre.
I would like to call my lawyer, please.
That's absolutely fine. I'll
Right
give you a
now.
chance to do that, Michael.
Right now. As soon as I get out of this, and you can let me friggin' call my lawyer.
Absolutely, not a problem.
10-4 clear to signal 12, no tag, no 1025.
No, I do not consent, sir. Do not consent. Do not consent.
48.
If you turn that off, there's gonna be serious repercussions. Okay. I do not consent to you removing my camera and turning it off. Okay. You guys are fucking clowns.
The officers even stopped him from recording, which is yet another constitutional right of his. However, finally, when the supervisor arrived, he was about to deliver the perfect karma.
My question is, he does have the legal right to carry, okay? But we have the right to stop out, to identify and make sure that
Middle item.
you got the information you need for an FI card.
So
Make
can
sure that-
he
make
open
sure
carry
that-
the pistol as well?
As long as he has that fishing pole in his hand and he
Yeah.
says he's going fishing, he can carry a firearm on it.
Okay.
An open firearm?
Open carry firearm.
Yeah.
That's correct.
I knew you could do it with a rifle, but I didn't know about a pistol.
So what we're going to do is you're going to unload his ammunition out of his pistol and out of his magazine right there. Do you have a backpack?
He does.
We'll put it in his backpack. Okay, and we're going to give this stuff back to him once we make sure there's no round in the chamber of that. And then
It is so refreshing to see someone actually knowing the law and not being a hypocrite. The supervisor took no time in delivering justice and shutting down these ignorant cops.
all right, did you hear me ask the officer to get on the radio?
No, I haven't heard anything because I'm sitting over here with my firearms. They're unloading my firearms right now, which
Well, for our safety, I
it's,
don't have a
I'm not
problem
going to shoot. I'm not. Who was I? I wouldn't hurt nobody. But anyway,
We've never met you, sir.
you don't have to know who I am. As a law-abiding citizen,
You're going to be free to go on your way. Put that.
what was your name, sir?
inside the backpack.
I understand. And I just want to let everybody know I'm Florida Carry. These guys unlawfully stopped me. They took my camera.
I'm all
turned
for
my other
carrying too.
camera.
As long as you're fishing, I'll hunt.
This wasn't the end of it all, as the sergeant also apologized to Michael.
I've been to Fort Pierce.
How many times have you seen somebody walking around here when they are 15?
Probably twice. And they're all
Yeah,
they're either
the
with
past
me.
20 years.
I'm sorry that
20
it's been
years, dude.
20 years. I'm sorry.
This is the city. That's in the
1987, we used to have an open carry law here, and
I
now
know,
Florida
I'm
Carry is trying to
I'm
fight
well
for this
aware
open
of it.
carry right back.
And that's why you're being turned loose and you're on your way.
I'm on my way, but I had to be treated like a criminal in the process.
Well,
And
it all goes with cooperation and common
I was
sense.
I was being cooperative. I walked up, said Happy New Year to these guys, and that's it.
All right.
So as soon as you guys leave, I'll go ahead and reload my firearms
All
so I
right.
can get on my way and go back.
Yes,
to
sir.
Thank you very much.
I thank you for your cooperation.
Yeah.
You have a safe day.
Happy New Year.
Okay.
Perfect.
Take care.
Still waiting for that apology too,
I
man.
handed it to you, Michael.
I said
You put it
apology.
in your right pocket.
Apology, not business card. You said you would apologize.
I'm sorry you were inconvenienced, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
Heard that.
I apologize on behalf of the police department. Okay?
Yeah.
Please accept my sincere apology.
I will.
Moving on, here is an evil cop who mercilessly beat a man and then was owned in the courtroom.
The court at this time will impose a sentence of 90 days, require you to pay a fine of $1,000.
Sinister cops are always owned and exposed in courtrooms. Their true face is revealed for the whole world to see. Today we'll be going through such moments where these corrupt officers got some brutal karma that knocked them down. Euclid police officer Michael Amiot was on trial after he was charged with assault when he physically used force on an innocent victim after conducting a traffic stop. It didn't take long for karma to hit him.
We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, do hereby find the defendant Michael Amiot guilty of assault, a misdemeanor of the first degree, in violation of section 2903.13A of the Ohio Revised Code as charged in count 2. We do so render our verdict this 29th day of July We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, do hereby find the defendant Michael Amiot guilty of interfering with civil rights, a misdemeanor of the first degree, in violation of Section 2921.45A of the Ohio Revised Code, as charged in Count 3. We do so render our verdict this 29th day of July, 2022.
Rightfully, the corrupt officer was found guilty on both charges, and the jury did a fantastic job.
That is your decision as to whether you wish to speak with him. With that, anything prior to discharging the jury?
No, Your Honor.
On behalf of the defendant, anything?
No, Your Honor.
Yes.
Amiot showed no remorse during his trial, and the very next day he was called back for sentencing. To make matters worse for him, the judge allowed the victim to say some words in front of the court.
My name is Richard Hubbard, and I appreciate the jury and the court for making the right decision. What Amiot did, something was wrong. He should have received the maximum sentences today. I'm still going through the suffering with the anxiety, driving, just the temperament, the trauma, and everything. This is a cause for this case. I'm ready to get it over, actually, but just coming back in here, just bring up everything, just to see him over there, see all that, just coming back in this court, just it just brings up everything, you live at the moment. So, I hope you get the maximum sentences today.
This wasn't the end of it all, as the suspect, Michael Amiot, was also allowed to address the court and apologize. The cunning officer would still not accept his mistake.
One of the most shocking examples was a prosecution witness called who testified that I was celebrating in the aftermath of this arrest. They testified that I was high-fiving, fist-bumping, and dapping it up with other officers. There was 5 police cars on East 228th Street that day, all with their dash cameras on and rolling. They all had overlapping fields of view. I can be seen in front of one of those cameras the entire time I was on scene until I was transported to the hospital. Nothing remotely close to what the witness described happened with me or any other officer on the scene. They knew this and put the witness on the stand anyway.
There was no regret or remorse on behalf of Amiot, and it was clear that an apology was too much for this ego-driven officer.
I take full responsibility that there was a failure on my behalf to get Mr. Hubbard in custody quickly. The incident was prolonged when I was shot with the taser. During the deployment, I broke my hand, ruptured tendons, and injured my shoulder. I want to end by saying I'm not an advocate for or against use of force. Everything I did on that day was based on my training and experience. From here on out, I'll be an advocate for subject control training department-wide going forward, so we can all be at our best when the time comes. I have a deep respect and love for the citizens and this community. I want to do my best to serve them.
Finally, it was time for the judge to speak, and before announcing the much-awaited sentence, he had some words for the officer himself.
One of the things that stood out to me is that the initiation of this incident probably never should have occurred when you received that initial radio communication. That initiated this whole thing. And the other thing that sort of stood out to me was that in approaching the vehicle and asking Mr. Hubbard to get out of the vehicle, there was an inability for him to get out of that vehicle without making contact with you.
The judge, who also happened to be a black man, spoke to the victim and assured him how he should move on from this terrible incident and not let the corrupt officer's actions ruin his life.
I believe the jury got it right. I do. And the court must impose the sentence that the court feels is appropriate in a case like this. And I appreciate If you need assistance, you need to go and get that assistance. But I'm not going to say you're not going to have instances of flashback or what have you, but you need to move on with your life also. And not let this incident continue to hover over you. The city compensated you.
Ultimately, the sentence was announced and Amiot was removed from the court.
Court at this time will impose a sentence of 90 days, require you to pay a fine of $1,000, and will require you to pay the court costs. In addition, the court will suspend the sentence of 90 days, place you on non-reporting community control for a period of 1 year. If you violate during that 1 year, then the court will retain the ability to impose the sentence. Anything on behalf of the state?
No, Your Honor.
On behalf of Ms. Amiot?
Just what count is this in?
The court will use the assault as opposed to the violation of civil rights. Not saying they weren't violated, but given the length of time, the court will use the assault charge. Anything else?
He was initially sentenced to 90 days in prison, but that was later canceled. Instead, he was placed on 1 year of non-reporting community control and fined $1,000. He was also rightfully fired from the Euclid Police Department. This officer certainly earned his karma, but things took a bizarre turn when his qualified immunity was revoked.
He had nothing in his hands, and he was shot twice in
2011, a simple traffic stop turned fatal when Officer Osvaldo Villarreal shot and killed innocent Benny Herrera. After a few years, his family filed a lawsuit against the cop, which eventually led to this pre-trial.
This is a tragic case, there's no question about that. But Officer Villarreal was required to make a split-second life and death decision.
What required him to do that? It doesn't look to me as though he was the initiator.
The fact that Mr. Herrera, first of all, he had been acting erratically before the shots were fired. He moved from a place of relative safety on the shoulder of the road into the roadway. He was skipping
But if we're
backwards.
talking about Officer Villarreal, how much did he know about the prior behavior?
He saw all of that.
I have to say what you're saying is inconsistent with what I saw on his own camera. That is to say, the point at which he began to get close enough to see anything. Some of that earlier stuff was on the other camera, but not on his.
Shockingly, it only took a few seconds for the corrupt officer to draw his weapon and shoot innocent Herrera, although Herrera was unarmed at the time.
His camera was turned on, but
His
he
camera
testified.
his camera was turned on well before he got to the scene.
He testified in deposition that he saw Mr. Herrera on the side of the road, and then he saw.
Well, he can testify to what he wants to testify to, but I want to tell you what I saw on his own camera tells me that the early part of this he did not see, could not see. That was his intention, you say?
That was his intention, and that's in his deposition.
Again, I'm relying on what's on the videotape, and now this is in Officer Villarreal's car. I hear him say, "Take your hand out of your pocket," and I hear the gunshot almost simultaneously.
Exactly.
They cannot be separated by more than a second.
And that's exactly the time period when Officer Villarreal had to make his decision.
To make matters worse, the officer had been cleared by the police department. It is shocking to realize the level of accountability that these cops have.
Before, he was asked in deposition, well, what were you going to do when you asked him to take his hand out of his pocket? Well, I was going to put him in a control position. That's what he intended to do.
So he's taking his hand out of his pocket.
Yes.
And as he's obeying the officer's command, he gets shot.
But it's the way that he does it, Your Honor. He didn't just stand still and take his hand calmly out of his pocket. Is he doing this peacefully? Or does he have something in his hand that could be a threat to me and is my life in danger?
Well, right.
He had a fraction of a second to make that
don't we
decision.
have to view this in the light most favorable to the plaintiff here?
I mean, and so if we do what you just said right now, offer two possibilities.
However, the body cam footage made it very obvious that the officer was in the wrong, and the judges also felt that his qualified immunity needs to go.
Here, Mr. Herrera was arguably complying with Officer Villarreal's order to remove his hand from his pocket at the time that he was shot. So, how is it that we determine that we should grant qualified immunity?
Because qualified immunity allows for police officers to make mistakes. It allows for the possibility that officers will make mistakes in judgment, and that's exactly what happened here. Officer Villarreal had a choice to make. Do I wait and see whether there's something in the hand that could kill me, or do I shoot? And he made the decision to fire. We know, with the benefit of hindsight, obviously, that was wrong.
It's truly saddening how Officer Villarreal was getting the cop's privilege. There was absolutely no reason to shoot the victim, and he should be getting punished for it. But thanks to the legal system here, he remained on the force without any trouble.
It seems like he had a better vantage point, possibly, than Mr. Villarreal.
He actually didn't, for these reasons. Officer Miali was facing, from his point of view, he saw Mr. Herrera's back, not Mr. Herrera's front. So he couldn't see, and he testified in his deposition that he couldn't see Mr. Herrera's hands as they were coming out of his pocket. He also, if he had fired, he would have fired toward an apartment complex. Officer Villarreal fired toward a block wall.
I guess the issue I'm having here is that these are arguments, in my mind, for a jury. That certainly you can lay these out, but we're at a very limited scope here. This is not jury redo. We have to determine based on the facts as alleged by the plaintiff. And right. they're gonna say, no, it was, he simply had his hand in his pocket and these officers were coming up on him really strong. They created the tension, they rose the adrenaline, not him. You have to lay out, take their facts, not the facts as you want. You gotta stick with their facts and explain why under their facts, you win as a matter of law.
I agree, Your Honor.
However, things were now starting to look tough for the corrupt cop, and finally, the judges were reaching some sort of justice for the deceased and his family.
As long as the historic facts are undisputed, the question of whether or not Officer Villarreal's actions were reasonable is a question of law. It's not a question that you give to a jury, because we don't want juries second-guessing the very, very difficult life and death decisions that officers have to make.
I agree, but at this stage, again, this is not an argument to a jury. Take those facts. Yes. You're saying that as a matter of law, the shooting here was legal.
Yes, it was objectively reasonable. Well, not just those facts. Officer Villarreal knew that Mr. Herrera was a suspect in a domestic violence incident. Okay. He knew that he had gang affiliation, that he was on parole, that he had a warrant out for his arrest. All of those things factor into
on parole. I don't remember on parole. They said
on parole, yes, and there was a warrant out for his arrest.
What do we know about what Officer Villarreal knew with respect to whether he was armed?
We know that dispatch told Officer Villarreal and Officer Miali that Mr. Herrera was not known to be armed.
The judges argued that the officer should at least be tried, as the other party had substantial evidence to challenge his qualified immunity.
Espinosa, the suspect, had refused to put up his hands, had threatened the officers, and an officer believed that she saw something in the suspect's hand, saw him move his arm, and was worried he was going to shoot her. But yet we affirmed the denial of qualified immunity in part because the suspect had not brandished a weapon or spoken of a weapon.
The defense attorney worked hard to portray her client as innocent, but the judge wasn't having it and quickly shut her down.
The domestic violence incident was over.
Yes, and there.
So, I mean, how does that strengthen your case? I mean, that was, if you're arguing that it was an ongoing domestic violence, so.
It wasn't an ongoing domestic violence incident. And it's easy for us to sit in hindsight and say, well, Mr. Herrera didn't have a gun. Mr. Herrera didn't really pose any
I don't think
threat.
anyone here said that one time.
No,
I think what we're focusing on, again, the narrow standard we have to deal with here, and that's what we're dealing with. This is not a jury trial. This is not summary judgment. It's a very limited thing. No one here is raised about the fact you didn't have a gun.
I understand. The trial court did.
After the defense presented their side, the plaintiff's attorney took the stage and raised several crucial questions.
But I think there's no question that he had his hand in his pocket.
Well, and both officers said it looked like he had something heavy in his pocket.
Okay.
All right. And then just before Mr. Villarreal opened fire, Mr. Herrera rapidly removed his hand and moved quickly, it seemed like, toward the officer's car. Why isn't that enough?
Well, because sticking on the undisputed facts, the officers had no information that any weapon was involved in a crime. They were specifically told he was not known to carry weapons.
The attorney made it clear that it was entirely the officer's mistake to escalate the situation to this alarming level.
Opposing counsel that he's entitled to make a reasonable mistake.
Well, if that was the standard alone, then every single shooting case, the defense would argue that an officer is entitled to a reasonable mistake, and that's the end of the analysis. I think for purposes here, one has to look at the facts supporting the plaintiff's version, and he had nothing in his hands, and he was shot twice and killed. We specifically asked the officers about their training, and they conceded, which is included in the cites in our brief.
No matter what the defense argued, the facts were clear. Herrera was dead, and Officer Villarreal was responsible for his death. Still, the defense tried once more to sway the judges.
The jury does not get to decide qualified immunity?
Qualified immunity is a question of law for the court.
You mean, so depending on, the jury has to decide whether or not there's been a constitutional violation, and at trial the jury cannot say to your officer, you're off the hook because you have qualified immunity? That can't be right.
The underlying predicate facts.
I understand that, but I think I'm arguing on your point. If we send this back, I don't think you want to say qualified immunity is no longer available to you at trial.
Absolutely not.
Well, I think that's what you just said. That's why I'm speaking up.
That was not my intention at all.
Once again, the judges stood firm on the right side of the law and shut down the defense attorney's argument.
Everything goes bad for your client. That is to say, if we send it back, if the jury says no qualified immunity, and if the jury comes in with an award of some amount of damages, will your client pay those damages out of his own pocket, or will it be paid by his employer?
It should be 99.9% of the times it's paid by the employer. I don't see why it would be different.
Well, by statute, California statute says it's paid by the employer unless they're punitives.
Yes,
isn't that right?
That was what I was going to say.
So that doesn't say 99%, it says 100.
Well, I was going to say, unless there were
punitives.
If there were punitive damages, the city would have the option of deciding whether to pay those punitives.
Justice was eventually served when Officer Villarreal's qualified immunity was abolished. A trial was later called, with the judges concluding that unlawful deadly force was used in the incident. As the case was headed to trial, the city also compensated Herrera's family with $1.4 million. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. Today we witnessed some of the most brutal karma delivered to corrupt cops in the courtroom. It is always satisfying to see these officers face justice, and there is no better place for it than in a courtroom. If you agree with me, please support us by liking this video. Also, if you enjoyed this video, watch how these good cops stood up to the bad ones and owned them badly.
Get the dog off of me! Get the dog off of me! Get the dog!